Let's start with the Island Boys. The only thing that I know about the Island Boys outside of course, their chart topper is they used to do cameos for the US military where they try and recruit people. So people would pay them from the US military to like shout them out and try and get kids to join the military. And then there was Sergeant Vasquez who paid the Island Boys to appeal to his upper management about not kicking him out. So that was pretty cool. I imagine that's what's keeping them afloat now.
To a comment like this, I don't understand why you're being so hateful towards me.
The Island Boys have been receiving fewer and fewer likes on TikTok every single month since they blew up. 10 million, then 9 million, going to 7 million.
Oh no!
Dropped to less than 3 million last month. The Google Trend Graph tells a similar story. People have slowly been losing interest in these two rappers who have made respectable physical sacrifices for their career in entertainment. However, while we're not here to hate on the Island Boys, we will make the argument that they were destined to fail from the very beginning. And the first reason
they were a meme.
They never had a decent skill set or product to begin with. When they first blew up 6 months ago in October 2021 for their infamous I'm an Island Boy rap, it wasn't because people were impressed by their ability to sing. In fact, it was the complete opposite. The video went viral because of how terrible the song was. The Island Boys were instantly judged as two talentless bozos who had covered themselves in tattoos, and as a result, people began to follow them for their stupidity as opposed to their talent.
And I think they're entertaining, and I follow them because they're entertaining. I love to see the stupid shit that they say.
They were mocked brutally in some of the funniest TikTok parodies ever posted to the platform, whilst being used as a representation for how easy it was to get famous on the internet in 2021.
Let's be real. How long before the Dust Bunny twins over here get a record deal, sponsors, and tours? Oh, you don't think so? Remember this, bozo?
Now, the difference between the Island Boys and someone like 6ix9ine is that, while 6ix9ine also got famous in part by his over-the-top ridiculous appearance, he actually has a decent portfolio of music.
His music usually did really well on the charts.
Only in the beginning. He then becomes well-known, people check out his music, and then some...
A bit curious, has there been an example of someone who started as like a punching bag and then got famous for it and never fell off? Because think of all of your most popular memes and most popular like lol cows. It only works for like maybe a couple months. It never lasts forever. Oh, actually, that was a really bad baby. Yeah, that started as Dr. Phil, people making fun of her. And she's had an extremely successful career as a result. You're right. Anyone else, though? I don't know why people keep saying Justin Bieber. His career was music. Shitty music, for the most part, sure. But people like the music. Nobody ever liked the Island Boys music. They only ever made fun of them. So that doesn't really count. He's a tier 1 Pyrex in the resub. Surprise in the prime. Crispy and the 10 gift subs. Cade. Thank you, Cade. The resub. Amity, Trina, and the prime. Chrissy. The gift sub. Demonic. Why do people keep saying music artists they don't like? That doesn't make sense. I'm asking about a person or, I guess, people that literally only existed to be made fun of and then had a successful career as people to just keep making fun of. That's what the Island Boys were. It's not like they had... Like, a lot of people got their start as a joke, but also contributed something that people might actually like music or whatever. They haven't done that. Joji. What are you talking about? Joji was an extremely popular YouTuber. I think the only actual example is actually going to be Bad Baby. I'm just sending a quick text. Okay. Thanks to the bits Trey, Tori, and Mark.
Some become fans after realizing that his songs are actually pretty decent, therefore it's a solid growth strategy. On the contrary, for the Island Boys, people hate on them, then check out their music, only to realize that similar to their TikTok content, it's not worth listening to.
People don't find these guys entertaining. They're not entertained by them. Other than, oh hey, these guys look like this, oh that Island Boys video was funny. What's happened since? Nothing. at all. And they keep rinsing and repeating, and they're milking it dry. Did you really think you were gonna go?
But the U.S. military likes to use them for recruitment.
And people were gonna mess with it?
Without some decent art form to fall back on, they're unable to convert their haters into fans over time.
Tier 1
therefore,
craft.
they either become even more hated or completely irrelevant. The Island Boys discussed this on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul, stating that the haters were actually fans because they were following everything that the Island Boys were doing.
They're really fans because really, think about a hater. A hater is watching you sometimes more than a person that loves you.
Yeah, and if they're hating on me, it's just because they really love me. Because I see the haters check up on me more.
Didn't they
than
also
love.
like lose
Seems
their
to be a
mind here and get
variation of
upset?
the it's better to be known than to be liked argument. However, there are so many examples of where this doesn't really apply.
Easy tier 1
There are countless YouTubers
Hashi.
who have been outed as predators, for example EDP445 and Minilad, who are both very well known, yet receive almost no views as a result of people disliking them so much that the audience goes out of their way not to watch the content. Therefore, the argument is probably better expressed as you need to have an entertainment form that people remember as being impressive, whilst maintaining somewhat of a likable reputation, which the Island Boys don't really have. People don't think about them in the context of unique, edgy artists that put a lot of effort into their music. They think about them in the context of two clowns who are famous for being famous.
True.
That's part of what people kind of hold against you as a grudge, is that
Easy
like,
reset
your
medical.
image is crazy and you're sort of famous, but maybe the music isn't necessarily the reason why you guys are so known.
Right.
One of the Island Boys would go on to state that the other reason they had so many haters was because of jealousy,
Just hating on me or whatever.
That-
And it's
that's
just a
always
form
the
of
one.
Jealousy, either that because I'm not really doing nothing.
which is just another
Everyone always says that. Like when someone's getting a ton of like backlash, the immediate thing they fall back on is jealousy. It reminds me of shit people or parents would tell their kids in middle school if they were just getting bullied. It's like, yeah, they're jealous. I was like, nah, maybe your kid's a loser. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, it's just, I guess growing up, you just get told if someone's being mean, it's because they're jealous or whatever. Thanks to the resub Mitchell and Cyborg.
naive argument often made by
Resub
narcissistic
wax.
celebrities who lack self-awareness. Why are you so confident that people want to be in your position? Do you ever consider that maybe there's another reason as to why people hate you besides jealousy? The everyone is jealous of me argument displays a lack of critical thinking, personal honesty, and self-awareness, which was highlighted once again when Logan Paul would ask them about why they thought they blew up in the first
bits,
place.
Coco.
Why do you think you guys went viral in the first place with the Island Boy rap?
I worked my ass off. It's not even just the Island Boys. It's the fact that we went through so many obstacles. It was just bound to happen.
Now, it'd be a cheap shot to say that there was no hard work. I'm sure the Island Boys had to have put
No,
some
there.
effort
You can
into
say
their
that with
career before
confidence.
posting that mega viral video.
There was no hard
as mentioned
work.
previously, they didn't blow up because they had been in the studio relentlessly for 10 years straight. They blew up because they were being laughed at.
You have that it factor.
Yes, I'm a star.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We're the
they
only
come-
ones that are talented in singing.
And this is one of the strangest
In
parts
this
about
what?
their whole
What did he say?
career. They've deluded.
In singing.
And this is one of the
In the
stra-
singing?
Only ones that are talented in singing.
And this is one of the strangest parts about
Is that what he said? In the singing? Oh, in the scene. Oh, in the scene. Okay. Now, have they... I guess I'll look it up real quick. Do they actually make music? Because, again, all I know them for now is they just do recruitment for the U.S. Army through Cameo. So here's their Island Boy thing. No. Doesn't look like it. Island Boys get booed on stage. That sounds about right. Okay.
their whole career. They've deluded themselves into thinking that they have musical talent as a result of becoming famous.
So basically, when I was locked up, I was probably one of the only people in the dorm that knew how to rap, that knew how to freestyle, but didn't care. I think me as a rapper, my music is underestimated though. Yeah, for sure.
What music?
I'm an artist.
Do you
I can
make
sing,
music?
rap, whatever, versatile. I can make rock music, whatever.
Even going so far as to say this when asked about their future.
What is next for you guys?
We're rappers. We care about the music way more important than a lot of things. We try to take over as an artist, singing, rapping, because I can sing, I can rap.
And this when Logan Paul would ask them a similar question.
What's your 5-year plan?
To be always top Billboard in music.
Good God.
Maybe acting if they let me with tattoos acting or something like that.
However, the confused response of always being top of the Billboard in music was certainly lacking in confidence, probably because at the end of the day, they know that with their current image and skill set, the music they do produce could never compete with the top of the Billboard.
Their look doesn't help them at all in terms of music because people just see them as this ridiculous character. And it's just unfortunate it for them
Thanks,
for the
Reset
future.
Panther,
Right now, they're
Ryu,
probably
and
enjoying
Tuna.
it.
For example, when they'd post the official version of their I'm an Island Boy song to YouTube, it's basically impossible to find a single positive comment despite the video's 13 million plus views. Thank you, Island Boys, you saved my brother. He was paralyzed in a fatal car accident. Luckily, when I played this song, he rose and clicked the sound to mute. Wow, you guys definitely have a hidden talent that should stay hidden. Have this as my alarm
This is
clock
so
every
sweet.
morning,
This is so
been waking up
supportive.
30 minutes earlier just to turn it off. Thank you, Island Boys. In addition to this negativity toward their music online, they'd also receive a similar response during their public appearances. For example, they'd both attend the Jake
Oh, here it
Paul
is.
versus Tyrone Woodley fight, where
Oh,
the
no,
entire
it's not.
crowd would try and get them kicked out, stating that they had apparently thrown a shoe at someone, which they never did.
So the Island Boys
shoe?
just showed up. The whole place is booing them. The Island Boys are getting kicked out because they just threw a shoe at someone.
Additionally, in November 2021, they'd
Is
be
that
booked
real?
to sing at Club Live in Miami, where they'd be booed by the crowd after yet another underwhelming performance, at which point the audience would discover another reason behind why their career wasn't going to last for the long term. They were completely unwilling to take advice from more knowledgeable role models in their field. Going back to the Impulsive podcast, the Island Boys seemed pretty proud that they had paved their own path after Mike would ask them about which rappers they had been inspired by.
So another thing though, and it didn't help. They were also harbinging or giving what the fuck was the charge? They had a murderer stay with them, right? A guy had just killed someone, and the Island Boys said, "Yeah, you can just stay here for a while to lay low." What was the charge? Was it aiding and abetting? Harboring a fugitive was the charge. Right? Wasn't that the story? Here, we'll just do murderer. Murder suspect Andrew Thomas. Yeah. So this certainly didn't help. So it's not just that they're unlikable, which they are, and untalented, which they are. It's that they also make the dumbest fucking decisions of all time. Crazy. He killed a child? Yeah, I guess so. I don't remember the story, but yeah, apparently an 8-year-old girl was the victim. It was a drive-by shooting.
What was your like inspiration? Like obviously you guys listen to rap
Thanks,
music
Reset
coming
Ice,
up.
Foxy, and Trey.
Not to listen to nobody because I feel like it betters my mindset.
Is that why you guys have such a unique sound?
Yeah. We don't listen to.
That's
rap
so
rappers.
nice to call it a
Nowadays,
unique
I
sound.
used to listen to a lot of rappers.
Do you think you should start listening to them again?
No, because
you're gonna try to steal
because
their flow and
they
their
already made it. And I'm not trying to like, you know what I'm saying?
You make it more being yourself.
I'm not trying
Are
to
you
get
sure?
About being yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys to an extent of not like being swayed
Dude,
by,
they're just
by
fucking with
other
them?
people,
Yeah.
But also at the same
I
time,
can
like
tell.
the current winners in the culture act as like guardrails and guidelines for what you do with your craft.
Mike is 100% correct here. If they were to copy another artist completely, people will call them out as copycats. However, if they decide to completely ignore the valuable lessons and current trends set by the industry's leading artists and walk their own path without any inspiration from anyone else, they're just going to end up sounding like, well, the Island Boys.
Is that how you end up in a place where you sound like you guys do?
Jesus.
Which is so drastically
Thank you,
different.
the
Like I wouldn't even
fucking
call it
15K
right, I
bit
wouldn't call it
solid.
hip-hop.
Jesus
Like,
Christ,
it's not
man,
rap,
thank you.
Right? Like what is it?
They don't even really seem to understand what their own genre
The
of
Resub
music
Soup?
is.
I was trying to go for more a melodic sound. When you keep on rapping in the same
Cadence.
in the same form.
You got no flow.
Like it's the same flow.
Monotone.
Kind of monotone. We go like you're very.
And going back to their inability to take advice from others, that eventually walk out of the Impulsive podcast
Yeah, there it
after
is.
George would provide them with what seemed to be some tongue-in-cheek yet useful financial advice.
I think if God forbid it doesn't go in your guys' direction, for real, I think you guys take all of your jewelry assets and invest it in something. So you guys will never ever
Oh,
be
yeah, have you heard of
After storming
NFTs?
out of the interview, an article
We're
will
about
be
to pitch
released by HITC reading George Janko vs. Island Boys net worth compared after podcast feud, which put the Island Boys net worth at $100,000 compared to George Janko's net worth of
He's a tier one.
$600,000.
Damn it,
With the
and
Island
tier
Boys
one
being
koi.
so offended by George's basic financial advice
The
and the
Resub Sinister.
semi-accurate idea that offensive things are just self-deficiencies that you're yet to address, their emotional response to what George had to say is also a pretty good indication that the Island Boys are probably pretty unwise and insecure when it comes to their financial situation.
So what are they doing on TikTok now? I haven't checked in a long time, actually. Let's see. Let's take a peek. They're the Island Boys on... No, they're not. What are they? They're Kodiak something, actually. Oh, Fly Soldier.
I'm just trying to...
Wrong one. Stop! I'm not trying to play that. Oh boy, their views are not doing well. Oh boy. Alright, what's this one? This is, y'all got room for one more.
Y'all got room for one more. Well, to become an island boy, you gotta be special. You gotta have talent. You also have to look a certain way. You gotta be cleaned up at all times. And then you also have to, entertain us. Because the island boys, me and him, like to be entertained by people. And so, you gotta really have the
What is that, like a court jester then?
You gotta have the drip, because if you don't, it's a no-no. So, who wants to be the next island boy? The island boy got a certain type of style that you need to really meet, criteria.
I can't believe they're not doing well. That sounds fucking amazing. That's awesome. Exit Prime Kitten and the resub Sakura. Is that all they do is just like say, hey, please come work with us? For the love of God. Oh my god, they did recruit a third island boy.
Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Cause me and my buddy, we gonna make sure that he makes it. Oh yeah, he's gonna make it. Is he gonna make it to the top? Cause we can really have to put some out.
You know they're also insecure about...
That was fucking epic. Yeah, it looks like they recruited a third island boy. Welcome to the family, man. What was that? It's called music. Grow up. Yeah, they're struggling though. Sunny is not wrong. They are not breaking 100K on all their videos anymore.
Their future if they flip out on a simple question like that. George didn't say anything offensive. The world is laughing at these boys, not with them. I refuse to believe there's people this insecure when it comes to money in this world, lol. This was also the opinion held by a financial
and the tier 1
YouTuber named
ginger.
Graham Stephen.
This sort of confidence and arrogance, I do think would end up getting in the way. Financial advice is like not something to get offended.
Here. Does the third member have the hair though? He does. It looks like he actually just bought the Island Boys like cosplay kit from Party City. Here, before going back, I'll show you. Here, this is the third Island Boy.
Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Cause me and my buddy, we gonna make sure that he makes it. Oh yeah, he's gonna make it. Is he gonna make it to the top? Cause we can really have to put some.
Yeah, he's in like every TikTok now, and he just kind of stands there. I don't think he ever says a word. He actually might be CGI, I'm not sure. Pretty awesome. They're branching out.
I mean, there's nothing in there that should have been offensive.
Graham also reiterated what was said earlier about the unlikely nature of their career lasting for the long term.
A career like this could last you anywhere from a few months to a few years. We've seen so many people come up.
I can't think of any with a few years.
And then all of a sudden, they do nothing. They can't carry that momentum. And for this right now, they're good for going viral. But I'm not sure if that could be sustained or if that could be translated into a successful career long term.
Before going on to...
Again, people keep saying music artists they don't like. People unironically listen to someone like Lil Pump. No one unironically listens to the Island Boys. That's the difference. Lil Pump was a joke. People made fun of him, but then he kept making music that some people liked. Now, do I agree with him? No, I think they are objectively wrong with their opinion. If you like Lil Pump, you just know that you are wrong. And you make me sick. But people do like it. Nobody listens to the Island Boys. That's the difference. They don't even make music, from what it seems like. It seems like they just sit in a jacuzzi and ask people to join the Island Boys. So it's just super different.
Discuss how George was probably making just as much money as the Island Boys.
I don't see anything here that would say George is making less money than the Island Boys. If anything, he could be making the same, if not
Atomic,
more.
And
however, when this point we put against the Island Boys on TikTok, they seem to share a differing opinion.
I'm saying respectfully in the most humble way as possible, I doubt he's making any new money like how Island Boys are. We are successful and happy in life.
Which would be followed.
Also, a little heads up, I don't think the Island Boys have much money to begin with. Just as a quick peruse through their TikTok, it seems like the only money they make is when the US Army hires them to do a cameo for recruitment. And you can't really monetize TikTok. The creator fund, I think, pays out, what is it, $1,000 per like 20 million views or something? It's something absurd. And they're not getting 20 million views a month. Not anymore. So I don't think that they're pulling that kind of money. I could be wrong, though. It's been a long time since I looked up the TikTok creator fund. All I know is that it's not very good. It's a little better than the YouTube Shorts creator fund, but not by much. Charlie, you're wrong. Bro, I have a channel that has shorts on it. You know how much money that makes a month on just shorts? Less than $100 sometimes. And that's off of like 30 million views on the shorts a month. And the TikTok Creator Fund is just a little bit better than that. So I can extrapolate to a certain degree. Thanks to the resub Chaser and the 5K bit Zaki. God damn, man, thank you.
Followed by another TikTok, once again displaying their inability to take the advice of others and their desire to walk their path of success alone.
But if someone's talking about my financials, I don't want to hear it. You're not the one that's making me millions of dollars. I made millions of dollars myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just me doing it myself.
There's no way he is.
Overall, the reason behind why the Island Boys are already on their way out was summarized simply and obviously in a comment made by a YouTuber called Hello Yassine.
It's short-term hustling. And we've seen this exact same quote-unquote business model, I guess you could call it, being done, but this doesn't last.
Nice. And it didn't. It does not seem like it lasts. But they gave it their